David's then the cattle.
David does the cows, Paul does the machinery, cash work, and Roy does the feedlot.
Okay.
We'll probably go to Paul's later because we're going to go play the piano and so on with John, with
We gotta get
David.
We gotta get David to play the piano up here at Sarah Lee's. They have
60s, 70s, I had to raise money to expand. So I entered into partnership with a realtor in Sheridan, and we sold out this land here as a subdivision to get equity money to build the feedlot and to buy the ranch
I
that we just came from.
It has to be coming right through to you. Sit there in the middle of the
Now you want to run up to Vistaras now?
Whatever, when...
But say yes or no. 4 families where there'd only been one. And it was a good financial move.
Did you make this pond down here?
Oh, I had that pond. I made that pond back in the 40s for livestock and irrigation when I owned the ranch.
Anyway, these people are interesting. They came from Ohio, and she had, for years, she was a librarian and a PE teacher and so on. For years, she had come to Wyoming in the summer and worked for the Forest Service, and she's a backpacker and an outdoors lady.
Well, there's Georgina's sheep in the corner of the brush. First time I've seen it. Go ahead, sorry.
Anyway, she'd done that for years, and they knew that when they retired, they were going to come here and build a house. So that house is all wood. There's no, no paint. It's all natural. And she has, there's not a stair step in it. It's absolutely all wheelchair accessible. The bathroom doors are wide for wheelchairs. They came here, assuming that one of them could take care of the other until they were 80. If they have to, they'll move to town. But that's how she planned. That's what
There's the yard the moose was in, the electric fence, and they couldn't get him out.
Anyway, see the wildflowers in there. Everything she's got is natural, flowers. And so she's neat. Anyway,
Flowers aren't much
turned in and in more Bighorn history than anybody else.
There's no grazing for
All those
wildflowers.
books in your
Just like
bedroom
your
beside
foothills
the
along
bed.
the
She
east
made
slope of
deck
the rock.
hunters. She has
Same
maintained.
plans,
She is just
same
and well, she's a lot like you for a person.
Now, how far is it from Sheridan to the border?
Well,
To Montana?
would fly about 14 miles. By road, it's a little more, of course.
About
So-
24 because you go back to the west quite a bit. I
And
presume
now it's a retreat for ministers.
it's all refurbished from the state it was in at one point, don't you?
Well, of course,
It's a retreat for ministers, huh?
Yeah, see this set of silos and those roofs kind of right there?
Yep.
Well, that's the old Polo Ranch, and it's owned by a very, very wealthy man. And he owns that ranch and this one down here. And he uses this one as a retreat for ministers. He finances a henna house between Bighorn and Sheridan for unwed mothers. He does lots of good things with his money.
The rain went to.
Like hoses, but of course they don't have hydraulic capacity for the big screening plant, so it all runs on a generator. Now there's the first 4-wheel drive this operation ever owned. That's the one Phyllis and I drove back from Greeley. And that frame, it's perfectly safe to say that it's got well over 700,000 miles.
That's the one.
And you see it says cat food on it
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
because it feeds caterpillars.
Diesel. Aren't you gonna go down the hill?
Oh, I wasn't safe. Well, I'm just careless. D8. If you want to see how it is, we can see it probably on the 8, but I can show you in the shop.
You don't have to go down, you just have to look.
Breakfast.
Bunny rabbits. We've got quite a few, and we just don't have any jackrabbits. I don't have the jackrabbits, just dolls.
See,
Boy, we
here's
sure
our
did see
house.
some. We're outside
Straight
of
ahead, it's the barn, not the house.
Jackrabbits?
Oh, man.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
You're looking at their house right up in there, on the right, down in the
Now you
knoll.
can see the shed there by the trailer house, and here's David's house over here, and here's Paul's, and then this fence with the power line over. It's the division. North of there is Mr. Schukert's. Mr. Schukert his holding company called the Kelso Company, or American Standard Plumbing, worldwide plumbing.
Oh,
is
yeah.
that
So
right?
that's where his
Kind
money
of
comes
faucet we
from.
got in the kitchen.
Yeah, I saw a commercial about them the other day, American Standard. They were talking about not only do they do toilets, but they have all kinds of plumbing fixtures, and they're worldwide.
This is where we can
Well, that's
have
Mr.
it.
Schukert.
Okay.
It was
That's
a-
What
man-
David takes care of then, the
that
camel.
little son of he told in the community when he bought that ranch and moved his corporate offices from New York. He bought a huge office building in Sheridan, and I mean it's big. That when he moved his corporate offices and moved his address, I wonder what David's got those cattle sitting in corral for.
Got the drop herd.
Well, they're shut in, double shut in, so I guess I won't worry about it. They're not going to starve to death in there, but for some reason they're there. Anyway, he told in the community
See
that
the
when he
sheep
made
wagon
that
there?
move, on his corporate offices and his private residence address,
Electricity.
what he would save
They cab here. He
in
does.
New York income tax,
The end of it, but it comes from
state
County.
income
He
tax,
used to
state
always
of New
come
York
at
in
2
1
o'clock
year
at night.
would pay for this.
I'm not saying he enjoyed it, but he could get up,
Wow.
come and be back in half an hour.
I don't know what
Anyway,
cents a dollar
this
value
year
of
they
that,
did.
but he's not a man
But
who
he'd come at 6 and happy to do that.
Brag.
He's raring to go by 6
or showy or
Somebody
anything.
riding a
That was
three-wheeler,
just a
is it
flat
up there on the
business
ridge?
statement.
Well, maybe sit clear over there.
Somebody
this is
riding a
our
three-wheeler
shed.
up
This
on the
is-
ridge?
Clear on the
Where I
skyline.
used to
Yeah,
land
dog
down
up
in
on the
head,
top,
and
the
now
dog
it's our
running in
cabin
front of
up
him.
Yeah,
on-
okay, well, that's part of shooting.
Now he's disappeared. He's behind that left
That's,
of the hill.
that's shooting.
I,
And David
figured out
goes,
I put the sheep
every day
business.
he comes down to
I
his
have
house
been
down to the back.
responsible
And he irrigates every time people almost want to. But anyway, he,
Building an $80,000 project.
Different strokes for
They got
different
it.
folks,
This is
huh?
quite an
Vic?
arena they're building.
Oh, you've seen that?
Yeah, we saw it on the way coming up yesterday.
Well, that's where the timber, that's where the
They got off the highway here, they got off of it over there. They had to go up there so they get straight through between those buildings.
Oh, Paul said the other night,
That building with the lean-to is just a little bigger than a standard football field inside.
Whoa.
But that's not clear span because you see it's got the shed roof to one side.
Yeah.
But counting the shed roof, it's a little bigger.
well, then where's what they unloaded? Right there somewhere, I suppose.
Well, I don't know, but they're not up yet. But there you can see the 100-foot
Oh,
clear
yeah.
span.
Anyway, the other night when they got in trouble and called Paul, and the Morton man himself called Paul, and Paul said his supper was just ready to go on the table. Shirley was just serving supper. He said, she said, well, I'm not going to sit here and wait. So she and Philip went with him, and they got home 10:30 to their supper.
Oh, no.
She and Munson, you know. I'm not going to go up this road, but I'll go down there to the creek. See, it rained a little here. See how it's washed?
Yeah.
Anyway,
This guy's got pheasants, huh?
This guy's got everything.
And
This
he's
is
loved
the Merida Trust.
I guess
They own Better, the publishing company that publishes Better Homes and
Found
Gardens, Port Illustrated, Field and Stream, Better Homes and Gardens, Real Estate,
Oh, that's
National
beautiful.
Sales. Now, how do you
Yeah.
like that?
I want you to wait just a minute. Let me get my camera out, please.
You want the window down?
Oh, it's beautiful on up here, but we'd have to put it in four-wheel drive and crawl over rocks.
We don't need to
Do
do
you like
that.
to take pictures of elbows?
Pardon?
Do you take pictures
No,
of
it's not
elbows?
the engine on.
Sure. Anything that gets in the way.
There's any fish in there, honey?
Yeah, I bet there is.
There's been known to be a fishy before.
Oh, on up here where the ditch comes, that ditch that goes around the mountain comes out, it is beautiful. And it's wild, boy, I bet up there it's wild now.
Isn't it nice? Oh, look what they've done up to that upper part.
They've still got
This
some
is their bedroom,
work
and
to
they
do
have
on the
Like
re-roofing.
one room at a time. They've
Yeah.
been redoing it,
Yeah,
and
because they definitely have some work to do
That's
on
quite
that
a
little
beam across
overhang
the
out of that
but-
porch.
Yeah,
and then they've
yeah,
got new
Paul
windows.
is always coming up with these good salvage deals.
That looks like a hand-hewn beam.
And it's not,
It's
but
not.
it looks like it.
Looks like.
But that was a freebie.
Hey,
Roy
can't
always,
beat a freebie.
Roy always gives Paul hell for coming home with these freebies and his so-called junk. But when you should have seen his eyes light up when he saw that.
I bet. That's a great beam.
Now they'll eventually cover those steel posts so that they match.
Yeah, blend into the time, the era.
You still picturing?
Sure.
Well, I'll move whenever you
No,
say.
go ahead.
Our labor by the month, and that's what it looks like now. And gosh, it's a beautiful little rig. It's, you know, all the controls inside dozer. You can tone, tip, angle, tent, the whole thing with the levers inside. It's a little Caterpillar that's strictly made in Japan.
So it mostly just landscapes, like
But he
places
uses
up
it for
at.
lands. Forward, you see, you had to cut it, move it, so you had to weld here, shorten it, and then these pins are just real steel pins. But we cut those wheels with a cutting torch, and then hired a man to cut those chrome shafts, and they welded them in there, and put that on a quick patch on an excavator to roll in the compaction down in a trench where it isn't safe to put men.
Right. Right. Good job.
Here's my first transport trailer. That's a homemade tilt deck that I made back in the very early 1940s. It's got a hired man. Father was killed, and it's got his sawmill motor on it, and it's been on there almost 2 years. But they told me the other day that they're going to take it to town and sell it. Then I'll get the trailer back. But I really don't use it much anymore.
Well, that's quite a trailer. Look how that's big.
You see, it tilts. It pivots right
Yeah,
on
it's
its own axis.
Right. Right.
That I made
Pretty nice timber there, too.
This is-
All the equipment we're looking at here belongs to Garbers. However, the property here they're only renting. This is a few miles away from their main ranch. And this is inside the Garber shop. This is where they do a lot of their rebuilding and welding and repairing of the machinery.
Put a plate in the back if you want to. You can run anything you want to like that. Yeah, you can run a
I
motor.
primarily run a spray.
Yeah, yeah. But just like the way you got set up with the 2-point hitch here or 3-point hitch.
3-point.
And off that PTO you could run, well you wouldn't have, but you could run a blade, you could run a mower, you could run
We
a...
got there series of allied tools for it, but the damn things are so light.
Right. Well, not for heavy work, but...
I use it primarily just as one step bigger than a 40. But we got
A $1,000 bit.
that bit's $1,000, and we paid $5,500 for that attachment used.
It's just,
But it's a moneymaker, isn't it?
oh, man, oh.
But that thing draws close to $100 an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
It draws close to $100 an hour. Well, you see, we got chop saws, We got a welder here that's both stick and wire feed. We've got wire feed welders at the other shop. We maintain 4 cutting torches, all of us. We got a full assortment of both racks. We do that in 2 different shops. And a few tools besides the toolbox. These are my old tools. These tools over here are mine, personally. They're not part of the company. But I like to have toys that when I go to do a job, I can get it done. How do you like that for a rack?
Yeah, that works.
You ever seen a torque multiplier?
I've seen them. Yeah.
A torque multiplier. You put this either on the ground, chain it to something, and you put in 100 pounds, foot-pounds here, and you take out 400 foot-pounds over here. And you never put a impact wrench in here. You do it all the hand.
Right.
You can take that baby with these sockets, with one hand, you just twist a 1-inch bolt and 2 lengths.
Is that right?
But look at that. I got it. Right. And I have never got a chance, we're using it on an application that says absolutely don't use it. We're using it for a jumper because it's got its own handle and carry it around.
800 cold cranking amps.
And that little baby. See, normally it would take a battery twice as big as that to have that kind of.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get it into
amps.
something.
Damn.
But I paid $108 for that as an experiment. And everybody, oh, it's so handy, keep it in the shop. Only keep it in the shop. But here's what I was working on yesterday. See, I rebuilt the transfer case. Well, David has already put the yolks on the rebuilt one. It's grumpy old one. 52 white on that. See, it was off a 1952 white that had an old style eat in it.
Right.
And that's what's on there now. That's an inline Ford 6 diesel engine. Everything on it built in Brazil.
Buy American.
Yeah, it's an American product.
Yeah.
But when I went to the Ford garage to pick up the tech manuals on it,
Had to use
They're
the
all
truck
in
to haul them
Spanish.
home.
just about. And the axles are eaten, and they're built in Brazil also. Oh, it's a beautiful truck. Gosh, it's got. But the brakes, we'll replace it just in a year or 2 with something with a simpler brake mechanism because for our rough and tumble work, you can't work on it.
Must have been 30 different ponds that you all had put those ponds in.
Oh yeah, from up on the Red Bridge.
Right, right. I don't think anybody's driving up there yet, are they?
Semis keep getting bigger. We had to come change this approach last winter so we could get grain trailers in there. I owned this place. That's the first place I ever leased. Then Phyllis and I owned it for a while. Then I sold it. Then the guy we sold it to divided it in half, and now I lease the other half back. Still the first piece of land. That's an improvised trailer that just to haul water to sprayer. Also, we got a quick release valve here. It's gasked it off now, so we can use the water road to haul. But of course, we got a semi-trailer to do that.
You built the trailer on that? You built that?
That trailer is built, the only thing that's bought is the axle and the wheels. The rest of that is all manufactured in the shop. Of course, the wheel most of it's used steel. Now the hopper things are bought in tin. But the basic trailer. It kills the rootworm in the corn. And he's banding that so that it just kills it right over the seed, so he isn't killing the angleworms or anything in the rest of the field. It's all a band deal. Got an electric switch for the powder. That's the stuff he was pouring in. He told us to step back. He's got a ball valve to turn and shut the banding for the herbicide back here. And then as quick as the corn gets up, by then I'll take a tractor smaller than that and keep the weeds out till the corn gets too high to cultivate. Diesel. Outside, the tanks are exposed, so we don't have to put up a ball.
Right. Above ground. Where do your tanks sit?
You're right there, sticking out.
Oh, right there. Yep. Oh yeah, sure.
Room before we go. Yes, they didn't hear me.
You wanna go? Or are you gonna stay?
All right.
Okay. Up to the back.
I'll pick you up in a few minutes.
Tim, wait a minute, Philip, let's get your picture. I'll put that sucker in reverse and go around the van or something. In there.
Nars is getting it too.
We may not come back.
Go stand by Nars.
Just keep on going.
We better do this before you'll get in.
We're out of here.
You're out of here.
Yeah.
We'll see ya. Okay, once you do it, I want to walk up and get a picture of it.
You see the babies, Pat?
Oh, of course. I'm looking all the way over to the right where they're just
Yeah.
coming out of the water.
This is one of Sarah Lee's little gardens out in the front lawn.
Came along that
landscape that's out there.
I was afraid that Rosemary's rose that she gave me hadn't come back, but today I was messing around.
Do blue jeans and boots. That's not the recital piece you played.
Oh, but wait,
Well-
I want to hear good. Any sorry, Sarah Lee.
Mom, could you set the synthesizer up? Because I want to play Super Skipping.
Synthesizer too.
This blue jeans and boots.
By Philip Garber.
All right.
And now I'm going to play one called Purring Tune. And it's a duet even though Mom isn't here, so she can play it with me.
You're gonna play both parts of a duet.
No,
What's
I'm only
this?
going to play my part because Mom hasn't practiced music. Okay,
Alright.
this is Purring Tune.
It's what's his name? Purring?
Purring Tune.
As in a cat? Purring?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's out of a cat duets book.
Oh, okay.
Did you play two for your recital?
I played 2 for this recital and 2 for the last recital. The one I just played was from this recital, and the one I played before that was from a recital.
I know that.
Way
So why
back
don't you play the other one that you played for your last recital the other day?
For the last recital, that's Super Sleuth, and Mom's getting the synthesizer ready. I played another one for the recital before that. Oh, what was it? That's our mic, I think.
You heard the mic.
Mom, is it ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, I'm gonna play Super Sleuth. Play Super Sleuth on our synthesizer. That wasn't my best, but
Thanks.
it's called Synthetic Vox 1. And the sound I used in the middle, along with the first one, was VIB3. I guess that sound stands for vibration 3 or something.
That was very nice. Thank you, Philip.
What is the name of this that we're going to hear?
You gonna do your recital piece?
Yeah, I might as well.
Chopin's Waltz in D flat major. Need to warm up some. pressure here. That's not fair. Just a few more music lessons, yeah, you did. Full music lessons. That was so wonderful. I went home telling everybody that. What is that? That's very nice. My hair. Yes, we bought it. Oh no, you were doing the Cheers one, huh? The Cheers one for a while. Jonathan was playing. Good night. Yeah,
That's right. I got the music here somewhere.
Well, that might help.
Well, I'm Victor Garber, born and raised Bighorn, Wyoming. 75 years old. I've lived here all my adult life. What else do you want to know?
What was your childhood like?
Well, I grew up on a ranch between here and Bighorn. Before there were any graveled roads south of Bighorn, there was a concrete slab road from the S curves in Bighorn to the sugar factory in Sheridan. For my younger years, we did not own an automobile. We came and went from Sheridan with team and wagon, moved all the heavy goods with team and wagon. Went to Sheridan for groceries and other light things with horse and buggy. Used a bobsled in the winter time. Bighorn was the social center of the community, and there was no electricity. There was a telephone system and a party line, hand crank telephone system at almost all the ranches in the Bighorn vicinity. You dialed your own numbers with a hand crank telephone system.
What did your parents do for a living?
My parents were ranchers, and I am a third generation of Pioneer Ranch farm and operation. My wife and I and our sons are a very viable agricultural operation today, but we do not operate any land that was ever homesteaded or ever part of the original family operation. We've put our ranching operation together since we were married 52 years ago.
How many people lived in the Bighorn area when you first came here?
Oh, that's hard to put to numbers. All the people that lived in the Bighorn area were making a livelihood of agriculture or else working for people who were ranch owners. There were nobody lived in Bighorn that was employed in any capacity except ag-oriented capacities. Then in the 1930s and on through the 40s, Bighorn started to become a bedroom community for people who worked in Sheridan, namely Fort McKenzie and the railroad and the underground coal mines. people who retired from working at the underground coal mines north of Sheridan tended to move south of Sheridan for retirement if they had been fortunate enough to save enough to move that far from the mining camps. When I was a lad, the population of Sheridan County was approximately what it was 10 years ago.
When you were a kid growing up?
Well, hell yes. Everybody worked to survive. That's one of the problems of today. We bus the kids to school, we put them in a gym, we give them exercise. Those that need to have PE training are the ones that get the least of it, and they could get that exercise by getting themselves to school and have the responsibility of learning to take care of themselves independently at an early age. But do-goodism has robbed that from this generation.
Well, that's it. Thank you for your time.
Well, you're welcome. You've been very easy. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
You're welcome, fella. Now, what's this for? History or English or?
Library
Library
skills,
Oh,
actually.
library skills. Well, as you know, my mother, as a teacher in her late years, had the students compile this. This Vi Willits Garber, who compiled this with the students in 1961, was my mother. And, you know, you didn't touch really on what I consider important today in education. You want to turn that thing back on?
Sure. Ready?
The one of the most unique features of this Bighorn community and the educational opportunities that there are in Sheridan County is the fact that there are 5 foundations who loan interest-free money to qualifying students to go to college. And this is one of the reasons that Sheridan County has produced for generations young people to go out into the world and become the achievers that they are. There is absolutely no reason why a achieving student cannot have a college education if their parents are residents of Sheridan County. I am a board member of the Perkins Foundation, and we loan interest-free money to worthy students. The other foundations are Bryan, Thornrider, Whitney, and they all do the same thing under various rules and regulations. And I feel that the counselors in the 3 high school districts that remain in Sheridan County do not stress enough the availability of these interest-free loans for students such as yourselves to continue with higher education. At least 2 of these foundations also loan interest-free money for students who wish to take VOTEC training, become commercial pilots, machinists, other worthwhile trades and occupations that have a high monetary livelihood potential. And to me, one of the most gratifying aspects of being a citizen in this community is that it has always been by a lot of the citizens so well and championed education at all levels. And this has made it worthwhile. The Sheridan community has financed and sponsored a community concert program that is unique to a community of this small a population and this diverse ethnic grouping. And we're fortunate to have been able to do this. I guess that sums it up.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us do this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
They're traveling around in a motorhome. They might be in Arizona. I think they might be in Nevada or Colorado. I don't know.
Well, he's still following heavy construction then.
Yeah, driving scrapers and everything for gold mines and everything.
We still got a bulldozer, a used bulldozer we bought from him when he left.
Yeah, he sold all his
An old
stuff.
Slag Bar D8.
Yeah, I think he's in Colorado right now.
Look at you with your babies. You're so proud. Everybody gonna have a little brunch?
How old do you think they are, Pat? About 3 weeks?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, their tails are still pretty bushy. Hey, kids. Hey, mamas. You're so pretty today. Look at you. Two little boy colts. Can't tell about the one over on the left. Come on, ladies. Come over here. Breakfast in the Bighorns. Well, kids.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
We now continue with Bygone's Early Life.
General, don't you consider it possible that the Soviet president was asleep? I believe he is.
Mr. President, as God is my witness, it makes no difference. The Chinese, in accordance with our treaty, have hit the Russians on their border. We can't even tell whether the Soviet president is still in control. All communications to the Soviet Union are down, sir.
What does SIOP suggest?
A two-part sequence. Launch half our ICBMs targeted Russian silos. Their computer would be hard-pressed to tell which of our silos are empty and which are hid.
How will the Soviets respond in this scenario?
We cannot read what we must assume is extreme political confusion in Moscow at this moment.
What would our computer say?
In a politically normal situation, our computer would predict they would launch their ICBMs massively.
At what targets?
All our bases, military targets.
And cities?
Some, more than likely.
Excuse me, sir.
Mr. President. Mr. President, the Soviets have initiated a second launch.
Launch? At us?
We can't tell. Are you suggesting we wait? This facility, SAC, goes in 3 minutes. If we don't hit them hard and hit them now, we may never get a second chance.
Sir.
I repeat, there is a second Soviet launch.
Mr. President, we have to get you out of here. Please, sir. I'll go with the computer. We will launch according to procedure. you think the president was sincere?
Mr. President, please don't torture yourself. We have to leave
Tell me, do
immediately.
you think he was sincere, Tom?
Please, sir.
General, I have the authenticator card. Day word, Cottonmouth. Command word, Trinity. Action word, Jericho.
You got it?
Yeah, I know. Okay. I got it. I got it.
Nav, co-pilot, are we still on course for our positive control point?
Not really sure where we are, Captain.
Tom, check your INS coordinates and your heading right there, man.
Hey, you do your job right and I'll do mine, all right?
All right, everybody, listen up. We're all under EWO, emergency war orders. Is that understood? We got a mission to complete. We are EWO. Am I reaching you, hamheads? We will proceed to our positive control point and hold for orders. Let's get these curtains up.
Hey, Major, how about turning on the heater?
Well,